Hello and welcome to my channel Crafting with me, Indiana Jones, and believe it or not, we're going to celebrate something way out of season, but always happy to celebrate a little bit of Halloween because it's always Halloween, especially according to my dear friends Dawn of Shabby Meets Bling and Monica of Up All Night DIY with their guest host Melanie of Painting Crafty. So let's see what crafty witchy stuff I got to around this week. So to start this project, I have this little doll that I bought back in Halloween time. Now, all of these projects are items that I wanted to do during Halloween and didn't have the time for. So now is the time. Now I'm taking her little dress apart because I'm going to change that little plastic dress. And yes, I realize she looks just like Snow White, but she won't in a little while. You'll see. First thing I'm going to do is take that cute little top and I'm going to paint it black. And what I'm using is the Folk Art plastic paint, and it works. I'm telling you, I only had to do one coat of this plastic paint. I love it. It's fantastic, and it also leaves a little bit of a shiny coat, which is what I wanted. And I haven't had a problem with any of the plastics that I've painted with this Folk Art plastic paint. So check it out. If you see it, buy yourselves a few colors just to have on hand. So I'm using a little Jenga block to be able to paint this, and I'm so glad I was able to do that it was able to be taken off of her so it would be nicely painted. Next, I had this cute little cat in my stash, and I think I bought it in one of those bags of stuff that you get, and I bought a little bag of stuff at the church bazaar recently. So I have this cute little cat, and I know that it's supposed to be hanging off of a flower pot, but I thought how perfect a little kudu cat would be with this cute little witch. So here I'm just painting her, and again I'm using that same paint because she is resin. And don't worry, Luna will be there too. Now I'm just adding some cute little green eyes to really make this cat come to life, and those spooky green eyes are perfect. I also add some green eyes to the little witch. I thought she would look cute with her dark hair and green eyes. Kind of like someone I know, right? Being resourceful as always, I had these tiny little piece of trim, and I think it was just like a sample that you get from those sample books for interior decor or interior fabrics, and there was a whole bunch of them in another bag that I had bought from a thrift store sometime in my history, and they're just wonderful. So this, I thought, this beautiful velvet orange color, this deep orange color, would be perfect as a little skirt for my cat, and there she's meowing right now. Of course, I meant to say witch, not cat. I'm not going to put the skirt on the cat. Although, you never know with me, right? So here I'm just gluing on that trim to that plastic little skirt, and it's perfect. Now here I'm dressing my cute little doll, and she will be ready as I create a Halloween assemblage. That's right. That's what all of this work was for. One of my favorite things to make is assemblages. So here is a cute out of season Halloween assemblage. But before that, of course, I need to make her little witch's broom. So using a twig that I found outside in my yard and some raffia that I had in my stash, here's an easy way to make a little witch's broom. So you see, you don't have to have items from the store. You can use scraps and stuff that you can find around your house. And sometimes people give away some of their Halloween stuff, and now's a good time sometimes to look in thrift stores for people that are clearing out all of their stuff in January and February. It's a good time to buy very low priced and inexpensive decor items for your home. So here I'm just wrapping the raffia around the little broom to make it look really authentic looking, and I think it came out so cute. Now let's see if my little witch likes her little broom as well. And do you have a name for this cute little witch? Please share your suggestions down below. Now you don't have to go out and get anything for your your little assemblage. You can just use a cardboard box that has been laying around your house for months, probably since Christmas time, but you knew in the depths of your heart that you could possibly use this for something. So here is the something. Here is some wonderful Halloween paper that I had in my stash, and I decided, well, here's the time to use it since I hadn't put it away with all my Halloween stuff. Now remember, when you're putting away stuff at the end of the season, for example, Christmas and what have you, always keep your craft stuff handy because you never know when you're going to use it. For example, I know I have a bunch of little white trees and light colored pink trees and what have you, Christmas trees, but I do keep them in my craft room instead of putting them away with all my Christmas stuff because you never know when the inspiration will hit you. Such as all of this party bag stuffing, I guess you call it, like ripped or shreds. I think they're called shreds. This black and white and orange shreds are perfect. And there's a perfect little black Christmas tree that I also had in my stash. And it was the perfect size for my little witch. So here we go. We're going to glue her down to that styrofoam. And it's perfect. And here comes the little kitty. And I think it's so cute. At first, I thought she looked like she was dancing. But I actually found something else. And there's little Luna in the background. She is my sweet little crafty cat, and she is in a cat containment unit. It's the only way that she really settles down and just enjoys me crafting while she sleeps, while she slumbers. Now I found this little pumpkin also in my stash and decided to make a little jack-o'-lantern because I thought it would be so cute to have the little cat just hanging on the little jack-o'-lantern. While little witch is worried about maybe it's her first flight for Halloween. Maybe she took a little drive and didn't realize that it's already springtime. Who knows? But now look how cute that looks with the little cat and the pumpkin next to each other. And I'm just adding some extra embellishments, some black and orange Christmas balls that I also had in my stash. And she is pretty much ready to go, except she needs a hat. And you'll see in the final reveal, she has a little hat that I also made just for her. Here's a little clearance item that I found at Hobby Lobby. And I honestly think it came out to like, I don't know, 25 cents or something. It was something ridiculous. And this lovely little design here was given to me by my brother, Manny. And there's the plastic paint again. I know I'm using the plastic paint. Manny actually created this on his 3D printer. And I thought, oh my gosh, I absolutely love this design that he picked out. It's so cute. I love the little cat. I love her. She's very pretty. She seems like she's a pretty witch. So I thought this was so cute. So I'm going to make a little shadow box with the witch and the cats. And there's my little cats. There's Kuru and little Luna slumbering in their cat containment units. That's the only way that they keep out of my stuff is when they have those little, if I don't have those boxes on top of my desk, oh my goodness, they wreak havoc. Now, I don't know why I did this, but I made this huge gaping hole in the middle of anyway, we'll forget about don't look at the hole. Look at all the little holes I made because I decided I wanted to have like a starry night. And so I'm going to use some fairy lights within those little holes. And then the big one is going to be covered by a glowing moon. Now I'm painting the inside of the shadow box as best as I can, and I realize that you can see the holes I poked in there, but I'm just using some black paint. However, I decided to mix a little bit of purple paints in the dark purple and light purple just to give it a little more dimension, and I'm swirling it around on purpose because you're gonna see the paint marks. You might as well make it artistic, right? Why not? Now I poked through my little fairy lights, and now I have the remnants of the ends of the lights there. I guess the string of lights there, and there is the little on and off switch, which I'm trying to locate in a place that I know will be easy for me to find and turn on and off as I need to during the Halloween season. So I already have one piece of Halloween decor, two pieces of Halloween decor ready to go for Halloween. I know it's a strange idea to come up with this, but I guess before we go straight into spring, it's a nice little break. I don't know who will watch this. I hope you guys watch it because there's a lot of people that love Halloween all throughout the year. Now, I took one of these styrofoam rounds from Dollar Tree. I did cut it in half, and now I'm adding a little bit of a Harvest Moon glow. And I'm going to add, of course, a little bit of glitter to that. And I'm glad that I painted it before with that little yellow glow because I didn't want it just to be stark white. I think it's always so nice when you see that harvest moon coming out close to Halloween. It just tells you, oh, you know, cooler weather is coming and Halloween is on its way, for time for spooky season. And you know, I love Halloween as much as anyone. And the fact that I have to start working on Christmas stuff, usually by the end of September, I always feel like I miss out on a lot of Halloween plans that I had. And this is another one. My brother actually made this for me, the little plastic, what is that called? The image or what have you. And I felt so bad that I never got around to it. So now, because he gave it to me in October, I was working on Christmas stuff already. So here it is now, and I'm just covering that all with glitter as well. You have to have a sparkly witch going across a sparkly, beautiful moon. So I thought this was adorable. I love the sparkle. I really do like a little bit of glam for Halloween. So now I'm adding the moon, and as you can see, it does look like the actual glow of a harvest moon. I thought this was perfect. And the fact is that I needed to cut it down or slice it in half, as you can see, lengthwise, I guess, just so that it would be thin enough, number one, for the light to come through. But also, I didn't want it to be too big in the shadow box. Now I'm cutting my glue sticks. Why, you ask? Because I wanted the witch to float. I didn't want her to look like she was flat upon the moon. So to give it a bit of a float look, I am using, and there's my cats again, I'm using these glue sticks to give her a bit of space, like spacers. So if you ever need a spacer and you don't have wood or anything else, just use some glue sticks. I think they work fabulously. And not only that, you can't see them. So if you look from above, it's really hard to notice them. And especially with items that are small like this, I think it's better to have little plastic glue sticks that are see-through. Now I glued them first to the, I guess it's the 3D printed image of the witch, and then I'm going to glue this right on to the moon. And it's so cool because it also gives the witch a little bit of glow from the moon and the little stars beside her. And believe it or not, you can't even notice the poke holes with the lights in it. Now I just added a little bit of purple around the edge. I didn't like that stark white. I didn't want it to compete with the beautiful moon and the lights and the stars, I should say. And now let's take a look at it in the dark. I think it came out fabulous. What do you think? Well, off she flies to the moon. Did you possibly think that I was going to have a Halloween video and a witchy video without a witch's hat? Come on, you know me better. And if you're new here and you don't know me, well, get to know me more. Like, share, and subscribe, and come back for so many more ideas. And if you really do like Halloween, check out my Halloween playlist. Now, here I'm taking these burlap squares. Again, I'm using everything in my stash as much as I can. I had these burlap squares and they have a little bit of a laminate on the other side, and I thought this would be perfect to have a nice brim for my hat. Now, obviously, it wasn't big enough, but gluing them together is going to work just fine. And there you can see the other side. Here's a nice wide brimmed hat that I'm going to be able to use to just cut out these laminates, these laminated burlap parts. And don't worry, you're not going to see that piece there where I didn't mark it right. And now I'm just cutting it. This laminate, I believe you can find laminated burlap sheets on Amazon, and you can also find them at Hobby Lobby. I believe I got this also. This might be from burlapfabric.com. for all your burlap needs, because we have burlap needs, don't we, ladies? Now I'm cutting out the center, and then I'm going to cut out little tabs so it'll be easy for me to attach the actual witch's hat to the brim. Now, there were some parts there that I cut a little too short, but it's okay. It'll work out. Now, to give this brim a little bit of life, I'm going to add this twine-covered wire. Twine-covered wire, I guess it's called, or paper covered wire, and it's perfect because it matches the burlap. Now, why am I making a burlap hat? Because one of the decor styles that I loved this past Halloween was primitive. So I thought this would be like a primitive Halloween witch's hat. I don't think I've seen this. Now, the hat later you'll see has a striking resemblance to Mr. Oogie Boogie from A Nightmare Before Christmas, but no matter, it's still a burlap witch's hat, which is rare to find out there. I don't think I've seen one unless you go to one of these nice primitive decor stores. So you can use this as a hat, or you can use this as a centerpiece, as just a decor piece, as you'll see. Now, I do have to apologize. I had technical difficulties. Here, by the way, I'm just ironing back the tabs so it's easy for me to attach the hat part to the brim. But let me explain. I did have some difficulties in the last segment that I was filming. My computer decided it wanted to take a day vacation and wouldn't turn on for a whole 24 hours practically. I shouldn't say 24 hours, around 12 hours. But it threw me into a panic. But, a little bit of prayer, a little bit of hope, a little bit of watching YouTube repair videos on my phone. Yeah, that's happened. So the very last segment where I'm decorating this hat actually disappeared. I cannot find it anywhere. And it was probably around an hour's worth of filming. But that's okay. You'll see the end result and how beautiful it turned out. And again, I guess it's more important to see how you can create your own homemade burlap hat. If that desire ever comes to you, you can now do that. And remember, you can also paint this. I could have painted this black, and it would have looked fantastic, or any other color, but I love the natural burlap color, since it's very rare to see a burlap hat. I don't think I've ever seen one. Now I'm putting these ribbons. These are the biggest ribbons I had, and yes, they're fur. They came in one of those Michael's dollar boxes, $10 boxes, I should say, which I think should be out there for sale now, coming this year. And I decided to use them as a base so that I can just create or cut together my witch's hat. Now, it wasn't tall enough to make a real witch's hat, so I had to add an additional piece to the very top. Also, we have a quality control cat coming through. Is it okay? What do you think? Was it glued down properly? Yes. Okay. She has approved it. Luna has approved it. We can move on from there. And basically what I did to make it more of a witch kind of hat, I did, there you go. I added this additional piece just to make the triangular top. What I did add to the edge as well is a little piece of wire so that I can maneuver that little top part of the hat as best as I can. And there you can see it coming together. But instead of gluing the two sides together to close the gap at the back of the hat, I decided to stitch it piece by piece. No, I just decided to stitch it with some floss that I had. And in retrospect, I was thinking, well, should I use black? Should I use brown? Would the black look too much like Oogie Boogie? I kind of like the brown, but maybe I should have used black. What do you think? You can use any color you'd like. But this is such a wonderful way. Now, I wish I had a full piece of burlap. And I'm going to keep my eyes open because maybe I'll make another one. But I would love to have had a full piece of burlap and just, add some extra patches here and there. That was another idea I had. But of course, running out of time. but I made the most of it, the best of it, I think. So even though there were some seams at the front of the hat because the hat wasn't tall enough to make a full witch's hat, the seams makes it look even more primitive, and I actually love it. So it's so much so that even if I didn't have to have the two pieces put together, I might have done so anyway, just because it adds so much to that, primitive look. Now, I don't know what is going to be my Halloween style for this year, but I'll keep my eyes open out there to see what else I can decorate for Halloween this year. I love it when thrift stores keep their Halloween and Christmas decor out for sale all year long. My stores here in South Florida don't do that. So it's kind of sad because they always, overprice things right at the end because they know you're looking for the stuff. So here I'm continuing to sew all the way down. So even the back seam, I used it as a decorative piece of this witch's hat. I had so much fun making this, truly I did. Now, here is where I was going to start decorating. So there you can see some of the pieces I was going to use. And I had this wonderful buffalo check. Is it buffalo check or just plaid? This wonderful black and burlap plaid, which I thought was perfect to really give it a beautiful, and yes, I'm watching somebody in the background. I can't help it. I'm watching somebody in the background there on my phone to keep me entertained. So here I'm using my little bodabra that I received or actually no, I bought it for like really inexpensive to create my big bow for my hat. And there you can see that I was having some technical difficulties. So let's take a last look at all of these projects. Please remember to check out Shabby Meets Bling and Up All Night DIY, as well as Painting Crafty and the full playlist in the description down below. Thanks again for stopping by, and if you enjoyed this, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. But more importantly, stay safe, be kind. God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure.